Next up is Vikings-Niners. This one's up to 6.5 Vikings. I love the Vikings. Look, I know the Niners closed the season strong, but I think the Vikings are just loaded. I mean, there are three terrific teams in the NFC. The Vikings are one of them. I think this game, I think they're going to roll.
Yeah, no, I mean, I covered Mike Zimmer when he was in Cincinnati as defensive coordinator, and once you cover him and you interview him and listen to him talk, man, it's hard not to be a believer, especially with what they did last year. I think you're right about San Francisco. They're getting a lot of pub because of what Jimmy Garoppolo did at the end of last season, and deservedly so. But again, look at the teams they played and they beat. I mean, it's not like a murderer's row. They're beating the Bears. They're beating the Texans without Deshaun Watson, and I mean they had a good couple wins against the Titans and Jaguars, but it's still way too early, I think, to anoint Jimmy Garoppolo as this guy who's going to kind of turn the whole franchise around. I like the Vikings big here too.
Okay. Do you ever, when you pick games, does the West Coast team with the 1 p.m. Eastern start ever factor in? That used to be more pronounced than it is now. I think statistically it's kind of leveled off a little bit.
No, I definitely think so. I mean, I think going from the West Coast to the East Coast is an adjustment. And obviously when you get East Coast teams going to the West Coast, that's also an adjustment, just for the time in the air and the jet lag and stuff. Because it's a season opener, I don't put quite as much stock into it. But no, that's certainly something I look at.
Okay, and it's not in all the way east, even though the time's early. It's not in all the Minnesota's probably, let's say, middle of the country or so. Remember, no Reuben Foster, no Jerick McKinnon for the Niners. We're going to check the picks on PickWatch right now. We have got here Niners, 97% Vikings on the straight up and 91% Vikings so far. I'll check in with that again on Sunday morning. But the early
maybe it's just a fan thing. I mean, like I just talked about how the media really, or at least it seems to me that so many people are on the 49ers this year. Maybe that's just more of a fan reaction than it is a media reaction. If people are going with the Vikings so heavily against the spread.